Hello and welcome to Dish Shelved with Adam White. It's the last week of the year, so I thought I'd do my top 5 favorite authors that I've read this year. They don't have to have come out during this year, it's just 5 authors that were new to me this year that I hadn't read before. So I'm going to do a top 5 list of those, and I will do them. They're not in any particular order for like 5 to 1. It's just I'm going from the oldest to the newest. Uh, and the first author that I want to talk about is Clifford D Samak. He's definitely an older author. He died probably 30 years ago or more. This is Shakespeare's Planet. I haven't read it yet, but I read City and I read The Way Station, and I loved both of them. So they came out, a long time ago, but they were new to me this year, and I'd never read Samak before this year. Now, something special about this one, yeah, I got it for my birthday. It's signed by Clifford D. Samak, and that is absolutely awesome. My mom got it for me for my birthday, so she gives really good presents, especially since he's been gone for so long. To find a first edition signed by him was a really special thing. So that's the oldest author that I've read. I'm getting glare here. But so Clifford D. Samak, Shakespeare's Planet. I'm definitely looking forward to reading it. And like I said, I love the other 2 of his that I read this year. The next author is Charles Saunders. He wrote the Amaro books, of which there are 4, but 2 I cannot get. I can only get the first 2. This is the second book. I haven't read it yet, but I just finished the first one a couple weeks ago, and I really, really enjoyed it. And he uses African folklore and legends and history to make a really unique sword and sorcery kind of epic. And I really love the first book. And I'm really looking forward to this one because the first one ended on a cliffhanger. And I'm hoping this one doesn't end on a cliffhanger because I can't get the next 2 because of expense and or inavailability. So but I really, really enjoyed his work. So he was the next oldest on this. Unfortunately, these aren't signed, but he passed away in 2020, I think. And I've never seen any of his signed anywhere to get. Like I said, you can barely even get the books. So that's a pipe dream on having his signature. The next author is Michael J. Sullivan. He wrote the Rhaenyra Revelations. I really love these books. I read the first one at the beginning of the year that had the first 2 novels in it. This is the one I just finished that has the second 2 novels in it. If I can get to it. I hit every page but the one it was on. It is autographed. So that's 2 out of 3 so far that I have autographed. So that's awesome. And his story is about Hadrian and Royce, who are a pair of partners that steal things and just do odd jobs, and just really fantastic. If you want to check out either of my videos on them, I'd recommend that to see what all they're about. But Michael J. Sullivan is an excellent writer. Really enjoyed his work. I've got like 11 or 12 more books of his to go, and I'm really looking forward to reading them. And I really, really enjoyed his work, and I highly recommend it. Okay, the next author is Ryan Cahill of Blood and Fire. It's the Bound and the Broken saga. These are self-published fantasy, and they are awesome. His are just within the last few years. The third book in it, of War and Ruin, comes out January 19th of next year, and I'm highly anticipating that book. He's got the two books of Blood and Fire, and I can't remember the other one right now, but he has the two of those out, and he has two novellas out. One is the newest one is called Exile. It came out a few months ago, and the other one, it's slipping my mind again. My mind is going. I'm getting old, but really love his work. I hope it finds a broad audience. And guess what? It's signed. I got a signed copy of it from him, which was a little harder because it came from uh, either Scotland or Ireland. I apologize for not remembering which, but he moved, I think, to Australia or something. He said in his things to put it, and actually his name is Ryan Kyle. I think I saw a video of him where he was interviewed, and he said that it was pronounced Kyle. I think so. I'd like to get that right because I really enjoy his work, and I can't wait for January 19th, which happens to be my brother's birthday. Uh, but so that is going to be a big day for me. I'm really looking forward to reading that third book of War and Ruin. Excellent fantasy told in a modern way. And I really highly recommend it. Go back and check out my video on his two first books. I did one on both the books that are out. And definitely give those a look. Now, the last one, the fifth one, which actually did come out at the beginning of this year, January 26th, I believe, maybe, of 2022. This book is the only one that actually is the first novel of the author, and it actually came out during this year, and that is Heart of the Bloodstone by Fillin Wood. Absolutely love this book. It takes, you can go back towards the beginning of the year and check out my review on it. I just absolutely, it was fantastic. It takes all the kinds of fantasy tropes that you know and love, but it puts a spin on all of them, and really just is a fantastic work. I also commented on the prose and being so strong and really readable. And I had the luck to have a couple of emails with the author, and she told me something that absolutely blew my mind, which is English isn't her first language. Which my jaw dropped because, I mean, she writes circles around other authors and in the English language, and she just had a really readable book. And I could not believe that English wasn't her first language. But this is a book that if you want to get someone into fantasy, this would be a great one to start with because it does have those classic fantasy tropes, but it gives you a new look at them. And just a really strong debut. She's working on her second one in this series right now, and I really hope that she can get it and produced and get the hardcover too. You can get it on Kindle, but this hardcover is beautiful. I mean, just look at that painting, and it's a fantastic book. I can't recommend it highly enough. Uh, Unfortunately, it's not signed. I just ordered it regular, but I'm hoping maybe one day that they'll she'll put out a signed edition or something I can get. But so 3 out of 5 isn't bad for signatures on people that I really like the writing. So um, Heart of the Bloodstone, Fillin Wood. I highly recommend this book. Like I said, it just came out this year. It's a new book, new author. Please support her work. It's outstanding and she really deserves it. Now, one last thing I want to talk about is my favorite comic of the year. And I would be remiss not to do that as well. And that is Usagi Yojimbo, which, like I said, has been coming out consistently since 1984, and it's the most consistent comic this year by far. Uh, all the Marvel and DC stuff is just unreadable anymore. Uh, I really love Marvel and DC's vintage stuff from the 60s and 70s, and even some of the 80s. But I really am just down on their new stuff because they just change their universes every 6 months and change the characters, and you never know who anyone is or why anyone's doing what they're doing. It's just a mess. So Stan Sakai has kept his quality of the highest standard and is just really, really an awesome cartoonist. And his stuff still, almost 40 years later, here in 2 years it will be, is still the best stuff around. Also, I got this, a sketch and a signature in this special hardcover edition. It was limited to 150. I splurged on a birthday gift to myself and got this because I really wanted. I've already had his signature in that Space Usagi in a real tiny sketch, but I wanted something really nice, and this fit the bill. So I really, really enjoy it. I don't know if there's any of these left or not. You can get it. You had to get them through his website, stansakai.com, I think it is. But I really, really love this, and and I can't recommend Usagi Yojimbo enough. Uh, Check out my video from a couple weeks ago if you want to know more about Usagi Yojimbo. Anyway, that is my top 5 plus 6, counting the comic, authors of 2022. Uh, I'm really happy with all of them, and there's lots of other stuff I read that I really enjoyed too, but those were my top 6. And now Usagi I'd read before, but there just isn't anything coming out that beats it. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you'll check out those authors that I talked about, and I hope you enjoyed this year. I really enjoyed it. I've seen my viewership go up and down. Right now, it's really down. So if you do enjoy this, pass a word on to your friends to check out my channel. Uh, I really enjoyed doing it, but I'm not having a whole lot of success in doing it. So I don't know if that says something about me or just I'm not getting my stuff out there enough. But thank you all for watching with me this year, and I can't wait for 2023, and I really look forward to reading lots of new books, finding some new authors, and really having a good reading year for next year. So thanks for hanging out with me. Have a happy new year, and I will catch you guys next week.